Election cycle is heating up, and a recent survey shows fewer Americans want companies to publicly endorse political candidates. Now, the Gallup poll shows more than 6 in 10 adults say they would be less likely to support a business if they had a different political standpoint. And it's not really a driver if someone has the same political leaning. So we have some guests here to talk about it. Within the last 2 years, the number of people who want businesses to talk on current events is down 38%. Joining us tonight is Professor Dr. Dietrich von Biedenfeld from Houston Community College and State Representative Jolanda Jones. So let's begin with you. Why do you think, or do you think, people want companies and businesses to be politically involved or not politically involved?
So I'm torn on it, right? I actually want to know what the company thinks and who they give their money to so I can boycott if I feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't buy my stuff for my house from Home Depot anymore because they give tremendous money to the Republicans. So I want to know that because it just lets me know. Because I think the way you motivate somebody is to hit them in the pocketbook. They only pay attention to that. So I see the polls say people don't want them to, but for me, I want to know who I'm giving my money to because I do not want to give my money to people who do things to oppress me. Like, for example, Chick-fil-A. They don't like gay people. Well, newsflash, I'm LGBT. I stopped buying stuff at Chick-fil-A even though I liked Chick-fil-A because I don't support people who don't support me.
That's a declarative statement, and we don't have Chick-fil-A's position on here, so.
Okay, my bad. Well, that's me personally.
That's her statement.
That's my statement.
All right, Dr. von Biedenfeld, your thoughts about that and why many people don't want to hear the political view of a company or a business.
Absolutely. I think some of the challenges that now we've misconstrued or conflated these ideas of being able to look on a Wikipedia search with research. Research is something intensive, third party. Of course, you're going to have Dr. Jones on later. She's going to talk in a PhD, MD vernacular that the rest of us can't handle. But in that sense, when we think about research, now it's a Google check. And that is, how do we enjoy the echo chamber that reinforces our values? How do we look at this reflexive loop that reinforces our existing opinions and then we validate it? So a lot of people are challenged when you say a corporation has an opinion because, especially if you like Chick-fil-A, you want to then justify, you want to back into your conclusion, arguably like the U.S. Supreme Court, you want to take a conclusion and then find the law that matches it. So in that same sense, I think one of the challenges for most people is saying, I like this company, but I don't like their values. How do I separate the two? So I don't want to hear about you being anti-LGBT if I'm pro-individual rights, but I love these chicken sandwiches. Concurrently, you don't want to have this challenge with the echo chamber where you say, I want to be outside of my value system. So I think that's a major factor that's been overlooked. Again, at the root of this, though, a lot of people are just tired of it. So you've seen an increase in the percentage of individuals in the Republican community who enjoy political espousals by these corporations. Part of that is because corporations such as John Deere have been much more vocal in promoting GOP-aligned values. You've also seen some of this promotion in demographics such as African-American communities and women because they also want to hear and then put their dollar where their values are and say, if you're a racist, just tell me you're a racist. If you're a misogynist, just tell me. So then there's a promotion. So you have two diametrically opposed viewpoints that are both saying, tell me where you stand so I cannot spend money with you.
We saw many companies come forward during the George Floyd incident, and they took a stance, and many people held it against them when they said it's time that we support social justice issues in this country, and many people said, look, I don't want to deal with you anymore.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this again. As a person who is elected and who understands the importance of political contributions, I give money to some company, I buy whatever. They have a lot of money. They go and they give to people against me. I want to know these things. If if people are pouring money into Project 2025, I want to know who they are. Because Project 2025 is anti-black, it's anti-poor, it's anti-union, it's anti-American. They want to take us back to some dystopian era before we even had rights. So why would I pay money and give it to a company that is going to literally give sufficient money to oppress my rights, oppress the rights of my child, oppress the rights of the people that I love? That doesn't make sense. So for me, and it appears that I'm different than most people, I do not and I will not give my money to people who will oppress those that I love and those that I believe in.
But to the George Floyd point, I think a lot of people are tired of hearing companies give platitudes or superficial activities. Adidas was one of the few companies, German company, that actually offered a tangible measure to say, we're going to promote black individuals to positions of power. But most companies were like, here's $1,000, have a good time.
No, they just didn't want people to pay attention to a black man who was murdered by the police.
Gotcha. Out of time. Up